Alright, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Trouble, and today I'm going to be continuing my review of One Punch Man manga series dealing with the Paradise Group arc. Last time I reviewed the House of Evolution arc. Just a quick reminder, the House of Evolution was headed up by this world-renowned scientist, Dr. Genus. Dr. Genus believed that you could make the human race better through forced evolution or through mixing of DNA with humans and animals and make the human race stronger. After seeing Saitama, he thought that Saitama would make a great subject, so he sent out his minions to go against Saitama, and Saitama obviously defeated all of them. And then Saitama got information from one of the minions and went to the House of Evolution. When he went to the House of Evolution, he then defeated the Doctor Genus, and that's where we left off from last time. So this time we're going to be getting into the House of Evolution. Um, there are so many. There are two main villains you could say in this arc: Speed Stone Sonic and Hammerhead. Um, but both of them are interesting. But this is actually, just to be quite exact, this is the funniest arc in the story so far. It's like this is one of those arcs. I couldn't stop laughing because there's so much joke, especially with Hammerhead and his thick skull. This is a running gag between Hammerhead and his thick skull. Yeah, so this is a it was a um, pretty fun read. It's a pretty great read, especially Saitama versus Sonic was pretty exciting. And Sonic is actually my favorite character in all of One Punch Man. I love him. He's one of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, with all this rambling out of the way, let's just jump right on into the review. So we open up, we meet Hammerhead. We see Hammerhead saying, I don't want to work. Why should we have to work? Work sucks. There's no fun in it. There's nothing like this. And then we meet Hammerhead. He's continually talking about like how it's unfair. The rich gets fatter and the poor dies, and all this stuff that doesn't really make sense when you stop to really think about it. All right, but so he's like, the government should create a give financial support, complete financial support to those who want to work, and allow those who want to work, and and but no one is listening to him. As he's saying all of this, he's starting to realize that no one is really paying attention to him. So he's like, he turns and he tells one of his minions to destroy the skyscraper. The skyscraper is, I think it's Manure. Manure is that's the skyscraper that he's gonna destroy. But when he destroyed it, one of his other minions that were there um, realized that they destroyed the wrong building. And so he's like, it's okay. It's what's important is we learn from our mistakes. And so he marches on over to Manure's building, um, also known as the shit scraper, by the way. Anyway, so but before we cut away from him, but before he walks off, actually, we see Moomin Rider comes up. We see a Screech. He's a hero for justice, and he goes in to attack um, Hammerhead, and Hammerhead one shots him, and that's all we see of that. We then cut to Saitama. We see Saitama waking up, having a nightmare about fingers and boogers. Saitama having a nightmare, um, and then he wakes up and he's taking care of himself, brushing his teeth and all that. While he's brushing his teeth, he's learning about Hammerhead and what everything he's been doing on the news. And at first, he like kind of plays off, I don't have to deal with it. Some other hero can deal with it. Um, but then they said that they were all bald, and and it's like all these men are bald, and everyone should take precautions about bald people, which is kind of a broad statement, is saying that everyone who's bald is a part of everyone who's bald is a part of this paradise group, but they should take precautions. Saitama is like, I'm gonna punch their heads in, like, they're gonna ruin my reputation, all this positive reputation I've built as a hero. I know everyone is gonna think that I'm part of this group because I'm bald. Can't have them ruin my rep. Anyway, we then cut back to Hammerhead. No, actually, before that, we cut back to Hammerhead. My bad. We cut back to Hammerhead, and we see him just wreaking havoc. Like he's just wreaking havoc, just rampaging across town, and he's enjoying it in his battle suits. But then we cut to Manure, the dude who he's going after, which is he's in his skyscraper, and this skyscraper has a giant poop on it, a giant golden poop on it. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so Manure is like his butler is like, you need to go. It's not safe. Manure is like, yeah, I should go, but it's gonna look ruin my reputation running away from terrorists. Um, but then Sonic comes, and Sonic is like, don't worry, I'll take care of him. This B class criminal, spineless coward using power armor. I can't promise that I'm gonna hold back against him. But then, right then, we cut back to Hammerhead. Hammerhead is at an impasse where he's almost at the tower, and they're decided to cut through the woods to get to Minor's tower, or the the shit scraper, I believe he called it. But on his way, Sonic manages to intercept him, and then the fighting ensues. He's like, I won't be able to hold back against you. And Sonic is just being Sonic, this arrogant asshole. He's just like, I won't be able to hold back against you. I won't promise that you won't die, but if you surrender now, I'll spare you. But he doesn't want them to surrender. He really doesn't want them to surrender. But anyway, so Sonic goes in and the fight is on, right? And Sonic just cuts down like all of the members in one go. All of them. He just goes through them. They go into attacking and he just goes through them. We see actually Saitama getting persecuted for being bald. He's like, oh, there's one of the terrorists. I'm not one of them, you assholes. Um, but 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 then we cut back to Sonic, and the fight is on. Sonic cuts down all of them, but we start to see that Hammerhead is not as stupid as we thought he was. Because when Sonic is coming, because Sonic wants to kill all of them in one go, Sonic just like, so he puts both of his arms up, which basically blocks Sonic from cutting his head off, right? Real quick, and then he realizes, and then Sonic just like Sonic fails to kill him because his arms, the gauntlets, the armor that he's wearing blocks Sonic's blow. Um, so they continue to fight. He keeps hurling boulders at Sonic, and eventually we see him actually just hurling boulders, hurling boulders. We realize he's not just hurling boulders. There is a reasoning behind him hurling the boulders, and which is that he's creating a path, a direct path, which Sonic can't, where he can deal with Sonic's speed because he can't really touch or hit Sonic. Sonic realizes this, and Sonic is like, you probably shouldn't have made it. You probably should have made it so obvious what you were doing. But Sonic then attacks him using a full frontal attack, and he goes in. Hammerhead then takes his giant tree, slams it down, but it turns out Sonic is already behind him, and Sonic hits him in the back of the head with a shuriken, knocking him down. But Sonic goes, he calls Minor. I really don't, I'm pretty sure I don't need to get this dude's name wrong. Manure, or it's Minor or Manure. Anyway, sadly, I took care of him, but sadly, I couldn't hold back. And actually, in the fight with Hammerhead, we see that Sonic is kind of getting excited. We see kind of this little devilish, this little devilish smile. He's excited by the prospect of a fight, of showing off his techniques, his superior ninja techniques. He even says that he's the best ninja there is. But anyway, while Sonic is talking to Manure on the phone, Hammerhead runs off, and this catches Sonic because Sonic is like, I'm a perfectionist. I can't let this dude live. I can't let you escape. So he runs off, and while he's running, he's like, I've never lost a fight before. Thank God, my skull is way thicker. I said I'm gonna say thicker, thicker than your normal skull, than the average skull. And while he's running, he comes into Saitama, and again, because Saitama is bald, he's like, wait, do you want to join our group or something? Saitama is like, no, I'm a hero. And he punched, like I said, this is one of the funniest arc in all of One Punch Man. He punches Saitama right directly square in the face, and he thinks that Saitama is down because he just punched him in the face. So he thinks, oh, Saitama's down, Saitama's dead. But it turns out, no, Saitama's alive. Like, he just He punches him, and he's like, and then he just stands up and like, and turns. He just stands up and like turns, start looking away. Oh, thinking that, oh yeah, the deed is done. And it's actually really funny. If you go and you read it, it's a scene as well. Super funny, like the reaction and everything, and just realizing that Saitama is just still standing there, unaffected by his punch. And so he goes in, like he powers up. These suits are no normal suits, and he goes in like with this windmill cutter attack, right? Saitama is like, Saitama sees this like, I used this attack as a kid, and Saitama just taps the suit, it shatters, and he's like, I'm sorry, and Saitama is like, don't do anything bad again. You know, Saitama kind of sees himself in him is like, one wrong step. If I had taken the wrong path, he might have ended up like Hammerhead. So Saitama's kind of they had that thing. Saitama sees that in Hammerhead, and so Hammerhead runs off, butt naked. He runs off, and right as he runs off, Sonic comes in. Sonic finally catches up to Hammerhead. Sonic is and then again, here's a super funny scene with Saitama again. Saitama is like, Sonic is like, you're one of those paradises. Saitama is like, no, I'm Saitama, the hero of a fun, the dude who has saved the world thousand, hundred, well, a lot of few times now. Sonic is like, I don't know who you are. Sonic attacks him with a shuriken. Saitama catches the shuriken. He then tries to thrust his blade directly into Saitama's eye. Saitama catches it. And then they get into this like, what are you doing? Why are you attacking me? You're one of those paradises. And it continues. Saitama tries to explain to Sonic that he's a hero. He's a hero for a hobby. Sonic isn't having any of it. Sonic is not having any of that. So Saitama, but Sonic, what Sonic is really concerned about is the fact that Saitama just managed to block two of his attacks. He's like, I can't have that again with that superiority complex with Sonic. It's amazing. Anyway, but before we could get into the fight with Saitama, um, we cut away and we see Hammerhead. Hammerhead is like, I'm sorry, he's like, and then he gets punched in the head, believing to die. We see two robots, and he's like, you have to be the dumbest dude. You think you can steal from the organization and get away with it? Like, you couldn't steal from the organization. We let you steal from the organization. And we see that Hammerhead is actually still alive. Yes, thank God for his skull. And he's like, Mommy, I'm gonna get a job, I swear, because thank you, Mommy, for my thick skull. Um, we see these two robots. Apparently, they're from the organization. And apparently the battle suits that the Paradise Group were wearing, um, they allowed them to steal it so they could gain battle data, and that's how they came into um, possession of the armored suits that Paradise was wearing because he stole them. But anyway, then we cut back to the fight with Saitama, and Sonic is like attacking Saitama, but Saitama quickly realizes, I don't know, Saitama just quickly realizes that Sonic is just, he just wants to test his abilities on him. It's like Sonic is like, I'm taking this. Saitama is like, bullshit. Sonic is doing all this, try to hide the fact that he's just this. He just wants to test his attack, and then we see this demonic smile on Sonic's face, just this super demonic and creepy smile on his face. Um, and then Sonic just starts blitzing around the place. He starts moving, jumping from tree to tree, And then he finally goes in to attack Saitama. Finally. But as he's coming in, Saitama just turns and is like, can I go home now? And Sonic sees. Sonic goes in, so he switches and goes in for a wind blade kick. Not click. Goes in for a wind blade kick. But instead, Saitama is like, checkmate, and punches Sonic in the dick. Alright? And Sonic is just like, what the fuck? That hurts so much. And he's like, who's you? Like, who are you? Finally I found a worthy opponent. What's your name? I'm gonna train day in and day out and night for our final battle. And for our final battle, Saitama encourages, he's like, no, I expect you to train hard. And he can barely stand because he just got punched in the dick by Saitama. But then we see Saitama back at his apartment, and Genos is here now. And Saitama is explaining to Genos what just happened, which is that nobody knows who he is. He's defeated evil organization, evil mutant monsters from the depths. He's defeated all sort of monsters, but nobody seems to know who he is. And Saitama is just having an existential crisis. He's like, I'm not famous. I'm supposed to have fans by now, but still, I go about my normal day, and nobody seems to recognize me. And Genos is thinking about this, and he's like, yeah, he's right. Nobody. Even on the news, no one mentioned Saitama and that Speeda's son Sonic dude, right? Because Saitama had told Genos about Sonic. Um, Genos then realized that it's probably because Saitama had never registered on the National Heroes list, the National Heroes Association. And then we learned that there is a Heroes Association. Saitama's like, what Heroes Association? I don't know anything about the Dance Heroes Association. And Genos explains it to him. He says, um, well, the it's like it was 3 years ago. It was created 3 years ago after the Chinners, by a Chinner, a multimillionaire whose son, or I think it was grandson, a son, got attacked by a monster but was saved by a past stranger. Then he heard about this, and so he created the Heroes Association. Um, and so that's the Heroes Association. So Genos and Saitama decide. Saitama is like, Saitama is like, you know, hey, um, if you and me sign up together, I'll make you my disciple for real. And Genos is like, let's go. And that's where I saw. So that's the Paradise group arc for the One Punch Man manga. That's how it ends. Next is the Hero Association Saga arc. It's a pretty funny arc. I laughed a lot through it. With Sonic and his just demonic fucking smile and his superiority complex. He even says that he's the best ninja there is, right? We know Flashy Flash is around, and Flashy Flash would have something to say about that. But yeah, it's super funny arc. One of the more funny arcs in the manga. Um, yeah, so if you want a good laugh, if you haven't read One Punch Man, you want a good laugh just at home, and just go back and read it. I'm pretty sure you'll get a good laugh out of it. Hammerhead and his group and Sonic. Every time Sonic comes, it's always a treat. It's always exciting when Sonic shows up. Um, but yeah, that's the Paradise arc. Tell me what you think about it down below, and it would be real cool if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, guys.